Hi guys, happy Saturday. Just noticed I've got some paint chips on my screen of my phone here. So, hello, I'm back. I don't know if you guys noticed I was gone for a little while. I had to go to Virginia for 2 weeks, and then it took me almost a week to recover from that trip because that was a lot. So it's been 3 weeks since I painted with you guys, and if you have been following along, this witch is going to look a little bit different than she did when I left you guys, because if you remember, she had yellow hair, and so I went ahead and painted her hair black. Hi, Melissa. I can't see. I wonder what's going on with our phones, because I can't see how many people are watching. There's no number on the top, so that's kind of weird. I'm going to have to do a little bit of research into that. So I am today going to finish, we're going to dry brush her hair. I went ahead and dry brushed this saffron yellow over the orange that we had painted the cape. I don't know if you guys remember, I changed the color of some stuff on her skin tone mostly. So today I'm going to finish dry brushing her hair. We'll paint her eyes on. And then also I'm going to do another coat of pastels on her makeup. So you can see, like, this was our first go round on this side, and then I sprayed it. Now I've added just in this one corner a little bit more purple as a second. So we're going to do another layer of eyeshadow on her eyes plus paint her eyes on today. So we might get her hair and face done, and then I'm still trying to kind of think about like what I want to do as far as the like decorations on her dress and stuff. So let me see. I decided I was going to kind of do like an ombre thing on her hair. So I'm going to start, and I kind of tested it out a little bit here. We'll start with the green. So today I'm going to be working with, I think I'm going to go ahead and paint the base of her eyeball on first. And I can see that people are watching, but it's not showing me names or anything. So thank you for watching if you're here. If you're here, say hello, because I'm trying to figure out why sometimes we can't see people on who are watching. So I guess what I was thinking was I would go ahead and do her hair, because, you know, I haven't painted in 3 weeks. And so my fingers are a little bit stiff. My wrists are a little stiff. So if I do something, it'll just kind of loosen up my hands before I start on the eyes, because the eyes are like the most intricate thing that you are going to have on your piece. So you want to make sure your hands are warmed up before you go on there and start trying to do your eyes. So I'm just going to start out. We'll just dry brush her hair really quickly first. Probably going to use this number 6. Yeah. I'm going to go with this number 6 synthetic filbert. So I'm going to use the synthetic because I feel like hi Suzanne, hi Bridget. I feel like the bristles, just because they're a little bit longer, it gives me more like a softer dry brush versus like if you had a really short bristle brush and you were using it that way. Even though it's really textured, normally what I would do in a normal situation is I would use a flat brush, because a flat brush is just going to pick up the tops of the hair like here, versus we're using a filbert. So it's going to pick up more on the top and the bottom of the curvature. But because I'm going to ombre the hair, like it's going to go black to green, I really want all of this to be green versus just on the tops, which is what you would normally do. So hi, Leanne. Thank you. I missed you guys too. I can't wait to share with you guys what I was doing out there and just let everybody know that, you know, I literally had to check out of Facebook for 2 weeks because my daughter was involved in a really big project, and it was picked up by a TV show, which I can't talk about right now, but I'm going to talk about it later once I have the ability to talk about it. So she was running out of time to get the house painted, and it's a big house, like a 3-story, 110-year-old house. So she called me and said, Mom, can you come out and paint? And of course, I just said, of course. And we were painting morning till night for 14 days straight to get ready for the TV show. And the TV show is going to be on. So once it comes on, and I can't share with you guys right now, but it's a very popular home network channel, and they picked up my daughter's story and her house. And so it was just a super awesome experience. And so I really had no time to even be on Facebook or be thinking about painting or anything. So hi, Lanny. Hi, Deborah. Thank you guys for being here. So basically what I'm going to do today is I'm going to finish just dry brushing her hair, and then we're going to do her eyes, and I'm going to do another round of makeup on her face. And then we'll see how long that is until, we'll see how long that takes. So we're at like 10:10. So about 2:00, we'll see how we're doing on time, I guess. So this could be about potentially an hour-long video. So I did want to remind you guys that I am going to raffle this set off once it's complete. And I was hoping to have it done by August 30th, but I don't think I'm going to now because of that unexpected trip. So I'm probably a little bit behind on getting it done, maybe by, not by August 1st, by September 1st. Are we already, oh my gosh, almost to September. So this whole set, if you guys are just following along, this is the last of our 4 characters. I'll just stop for a second and show you the other 3 because I have them right here. We've already finished these. Hi, Jackie. We've already finished these guys, and these videos are still available for you to view on my Facebook page. We did process videos of all of these characters. They were free demos. So I have a raffle set up on my website for this set, and once it's complete, then I'll go ahead and raffle it off, of course. I don't know how long it'll take me, probably a couple more weeks. Hi, Terry. But I just wanted to show you guys, I just love how his little flashlight, we turned it into a pumpkin flashlight. And that's probably my favorite thing about this guy. Because that was such a last minute decision to put the pumpkin face on there. And I just love how that turned out. So we still have a couple of more pieces that go to this set. I've got several cats. There's 3 cats that go with it. There's several pumpkins. There are several birds that will be crows, obviously. There's some fences. There's a corn stalk with a cat on top. So really there's 4 cats, three individuals, and then the one on top of the corn stalk, which I don't have handy right now. But this is about a 20 piece. I think it's 23 pieces, I want to say, in the set, 20 something. I don't know. Between all the pumpkins and the birds and everything, it's a lot. So if you guys are interested in this set, once it's complete, we're going to go ahead and do a raffle. And I put the link to that in my website. in the comments. Sorry. I'm a little bit discombobulated trying to get back into the swing of things here, you guys. I'm not going to lie. It was a really exhausting 14 days, but so rewarding. I can't wait to be able to share it with you guys because it was an awesome experience. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ombre this hair from black to green. And I'm going to show you guys how it's important to use a dark color on your black. Like most people would just paint black and then leave it. But you still have to have your shadows and highlights on black hair. So whether you're using like purple, which is usually my go-to, or you can use dark blue, like a really dark navy blue, or you can use silver, or you can use gray. But as long as you need something on your black, like you can't just leave it black. That's a big misconception that people have. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to use green for the color on the hair here. And then I'm going to use the dark blue, and we're going to put the highlights on the black part of the hair. I need to pick up a little bit more paint here. I'm extremely dehydrated, you guys, from just not drinking enough, taking enough self-care while I was there because we had such a crazy time crunch. So my throat's a little raspy today too, so I apologize. So I really want to get the green because it's ombreing from black to green. Normally I would really just focus on the tops of these. But because the whole bottom of the hair is green, I want to go ahead and make the valleys and the peaks of the hair green. I also have 6 dogs at my house until tomorrow night, so chances are you may hear them barking in the background. So we're just going to do half of her hair here. And I was getting really annoyed with this cape because I couldn't, this is just yellow over the top of this dark orange. This we base coated with scarlet. And then I just dry brushed with saffron yellow over the top because I thought originally I was going to dry brush with this lighter orange, but I didn't get enough contrast. Hi, Dawn. You couldn't find the raffle? Oh, no, the raffle's on the Hope and Dimples page on my website. The Fashion Hues raffle, that was through, I think Cottage Cupboard had one and also Kim Christ had one, but if you go in the comments, it should be pinned to the top of my comments, but it's just in the hopeanddimples.com, and then you go to the shop section and you have to scroll down a little bit, but it's right there. So this looks pretty good. I'm not going to go crazy because, again, her hair is black. So this really is just meant to be like an accent to the black hair, not to take away. We don't want her hair to look green. We want it to look black with green tint, right? Hi, Joyce. I hope you guys had a good couple weeks while I was gone. I really missed hanging out with you, even though, you know, we don't really do it in person, but I enjoy painting with you guys, and you guys are always so great. Whenever I go out of town, I get bombarded with messages from people wanting me to look at their things that they've been painting. And I love that. I get so excited seeing the stuff that you guys are painting based on, you know, whether you learned it here or you just bought your pastels for the first time and you're just trying them out. So that really makes me the happiest when you guys are sending me your stuff, and know that you can always put your pictures in the Friends of Hope and Dimples group. You know, share your artwork there. People really love to see that other artists can do what I teach you guys. I mean, when someone sees like, oh, well, she did it. I mean, if she can do it, then I can do it. And so the community that we're building here is really a great place for getting really nice feedback. And, you know, people give you honest feedback if you're looking for tips on how to do certain things. And, you know, it's just a nice place to go and showcase your work. So if you haven't joined that friends group yet, make sure that you go over and do that, because you can post your stuff there. I'm getting a little bit sloppy here around the edges, but I know that I'm going to come in and do my pastels, and I'm going to use black along the inside of her dress because it's black, it's purple, plus I'm up against black. So I'm just going to shade both things at one time, the shirt and the hat, with black. Okay, so let's get a really nice bright coat around the edge here. It's looking pretty, I'm getting pretty sloppy in this corner. Let me move some of this stuff out of the way. I need to clean up my desk. Okay, so let's get this on here really well around the face. Now that I've got that on there, now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add my highlights onto the green. So since we're already working with the light green, I don't want to add white because white will give me like a pastel green. Hi, Cheryl. Hi, Kendall. Gail. Sorry, all I could see was Kendall, but I know it's Gail. So what I want to do is I want like a lime green. So I could add white to this if I'm mixing, but I'm going to add yellow to it because I want a brighter, much brighter green. So I've already got, let me see. I think we are mixing with saffron yellow. Let me see. No, I'm going to mix with the bright yellow for this one. The saffron yellow has a little bit more of an orange tint to it. So if I mix it with green, I'm going to get the green, yellow, orange, when really I just want green and yellow. And again, you don't have to mix paints. If you want to use individual colors, that's a-okay. I really try to have as little paint on hand as possible, like 1 or 2 bottles of 1 bottle of each color. And then I mix my own. You use less paint, plus I feel like you get a more uniform look on things when you just mix and build that way. But that's how I do it, you know. But if you feel comfortable just going to a straight, you know, straight green or a straight yellow green without mixing, then just do whatever's comfortable for you for sure. Okay, so I've got a little bit of a lime green here. So now I'm going to go and I'm going to hit the tops of the peaks of the hair. So just like a mountaintop, you're going to have a brighter shade on the very top of this like mountain range right here. Gonna pick up a little bit more paint. Let me know where you guys are watching from, please. Always love to know that. I'm in Idaho and it's quite chilly here today. It's rainy and 55 degrees or something. It's pretty cool for this time of year. We also have some pretty big fires burning around us, which is pretty terrifying, but doesn't make for great air quality. So you can see how that just on the tops there really makes a huge difference, right? So I'm kind of holding my brush sideways, you know, and going this way. And you can see that I'm getting a pretty intense, sharp gradient right there. Hi, Jackie. So I really am going to take my paintbrush and I'm going to turn it sideways like this. And I'm going to kind of just lightly go over that peak again and try to blend out that hard line that's on the hair. I don't necessarily want more color on there, but I definitely need to get rid of that harsh line that you could tell was giving me just like, you know, one color stop. You know, that's always what we're trying to avoid. Here, I can still see a pretty hard line right here. So let me turn my brush this way so it's more like a sweeping motion. Versus this way, we're just kind of laying the color down. This way, I'm going to get much more roundness on that top part there. Much more uniform highlight. How does that look? See, that really got rid of that line there. So I'm going to pick up a little bit more paint. Now I'm going to come over here on this one. I want to kind of like, I'm getting a little bit too much paint right there, or it's smearing right there in that spot. So this is always the trick, you know, not having too much paint on your brush when you're working with dry brushing. It's always a delicate little dance. So we'll just do a light highlight on this one. I'm going to probably add just a tiny little bit of white or light buttermilk to my brush right there and just kind of try to smooth those little mistakes out with a little tiny more highlight there. I keep hitting my camera with my paintbrush. Sorry, you guys. So again, I'm going to come in. I'm going to pick up a little bit more yellow. Thank you, Jackie. I really did. I had a great time, but I also missed my people. You know, we were getting on a pretty good groove there where I was going live every day and I had some pretty good retention rates and stuff, and then went out of town and just kind of like I had to let all that go because I just didn't have time to devote to Facebook while I was out there. All I'm doing, you guys, is I'm just kind of accentuating the face a little bit with that brighter yellow because I really do want her. And I also want to try to kind of pull that color up a little bit, like gives you that kind of swoosh, you know, so you can see it's a nice ombre there. in this section right here. So that's what we're going for. So let's see, how does it look over here? On this side, we don't really have a whole lot of room here. Maybe I need to come up just a little bit higher with this. Let's see. See how this looks. It's crazy when you start kind of like hanging out and painting with people online, and you kind of, you get into this groove. And even though I've never met you guys in person, most of you, I still kind of feel like I know you because you're hanging out with me all the time while I'm painting. So it's hard when you go away and you kind of like shut down that whole social media thing for a little while. Okay, so that looks pretty good. I'm going to switch brushes, and we're going to do the top part of her hair. My hand's getting pretty warmed up so that I'll be ready to paint those eyes. I remember on the last character that I did on one of my first videos, when I got to the details part, I started with the eyes, and I remember saying that was a big mistake. You can never start with eyes. Getting a drink of water. Sorry, guys. Hi, Beth. Hi, Debbie. Yeah, I missed you guys. So let's see. Let's just go ahead and do the blue on her hair, and then we'll paint the eyeball on. So for the blue, whenever I'm doing black, I like to go with like the most darkest blue that I can get. And in Michael's, this was the one that they had that was the absolute darkest. So this is a little bit lighter than normally what I would use. I would use like almost one that has more black in it. Hi, Kim. Because, you always want the hair to still look black, but it is going to with this particular color. But if I had a different color, I would probably use a darker blue. So let me just see which brush I'm going to use here. Hang on one second. The brush isn't quite dry yet. Number 6. And number 6 is going to be difficult for me to get up underneath. Let me see. Let me try. Number 2 might be too small. Number 2 would probably work, though. It'll just take me a little bit longer. Up here it would work great. Now I'm going to have to use 2 brushes, which I don't usually do because we're dry brushing. People will ask me this sometimes. Why do you use? Because sometimes it'll seem like my brush is too big. Like I'll get if I'm dry brushing, I'll get like brown on the purple because my brush is a little bit too big. For 2 reasons. I don't normally care about this because I know I'm going to come back and shade it with the pastels, and 9.9 times out of 10 it covers it, so that I don't need to worry about doing that. But because I have limited dry brushes, if I have like on this hat where I have a big space but also a small space, well, I don't want to do the whole big space with this little brush because that'll take forever and it'll look weird. So chances are I can use the big brush, work faster, and maybe just change the shape of the brush. Because if I use 2 brushes, well, now both my brushes are wet. And you can't just rinse these brushes and then go to the next paint color, because once they get wet, then you can't use them anymore. Hi, Corrine. So I like to use the least amount of brushes as possible when I'm dry brushing, because I know that if I only have one number 2, this is the only one I have to be strategic about when am I going to use the number 2. Because the minute I put color on this and then I have to rinse it, I'm done with that brush for at least an hour, maybe longer. So I'm going to take my chances on the number 6, and I'm going to try to get up in here with my number 6 versus using that smaller one. So that's kind of my thought process with how I choose, which brushes I'm going to use. This number 4 is the ideal brush. This is the size I would want to use. It still feels like, because I used it earlier today to dry brush the cape, it probably is okay. but I'm not going to risk it. So I'm just going to go with the number 6. So I'm going to pick up this navy blue. Hi, Carol. You guys say hello, please. Okay, so now we're going to highlight the black part of the hair. And we don't want to go like really too much, but we can kind of like co-mingle these two colors together a little bit. Because why not? Like, who cares? She got her hair colored and this is what it's going to look like. And it's going to be fun and it's Halloween. So maybe she colored her hair blue and green. I don't know. Do what you want. But I think that looks cool. I love how those two colors kind of like mesh together there. So hope you guys are having a good weekend. Let me know what you're doing today. Painting or just watching painting? I don't know. I feel like I had to just jump right back into it because otherwise, I'm also dealing with this other condition called perimenopause. You guys, we seriously need to normalize talking about this, what women go through with this. Holy cow, I've had a major eye-opening few months when I found out what this was, because everybody talks about menopause. You hear people talking about menopause all the time, but nobody talks about the perimenopause, which is like the leading up to it, and it's, in some people's opinion, the worse than actual menopause. And I'm like, geez, I never heard anybody talk about perimenopause before. What is that? And then I had to Google it. So here's where I'm going to get tricky, right? Because here's where I've got to be really careful not to get any of this blue on the green. Hence the thinking, like, would I use a number 2 here? If you have a lot of extra brushes and you don't feel comfortable doing this, I'm working towards the hat purposefully because I want to stay away from the green, number 1. because I don't want to get blue on the green. Hi, Rufus. But also I know that the underneath side of the hat is not going to be noticeable to most people unless they actually pick it up and look at it, which, all people aren't going to do that. I don't know. So I'm working this way so that if I do get blue on it, it goes on the hat. And then I can always come back, and I haven't done any shading on the underneath side of the hat yet. What is the name for the dry brush set you're using? So I have two different brush sets. This is the white bristle filbert. These are the hog's hair ones, and these are on Renee's website, Gammy's Happy Bees. And then I'm also using the synthetics. So the difference, in my opinion, you guys, of these two is if you've been dry brushing a little bit, you will understand this, and you can see it just looking at the brushes. These white filbert interlocked bristle brushes, these are actual hog hair brushes. So they're very stiff. They're packed tightly in there. And, they're filberts. Obviously, you guys know, if you've been watching me for a while, filberts is what I like to use. Hi, Polly. The synthetic bristle filberts, these are synthetic hog hair. So this isn't real. So it gives you the same dry brushing outcome as these, but these, it's a different material. So when I will use the synthetic bristles, the bristles are actually the same length, but you can see that these synthetic ones look a little bit longer. When they come out of the box, they are the same length because I have put them up against each other before. I've worn these hog hair ones down quite a bit because these are my go-tos. But on something like this, smooth texture, the top of this hat, the top of this belt, I'm going to always go with the synthetic dry brush. Because it's not actual hog's hair, it's a different synthetic material, it's softer. It's like an actual paintbrush, but it's still a dry brush, is really the way I like to kind of describe it. So I'm going to come back with this always on a smooth area like here, or the tops of the hat, or even on her dress, because especially on something like this where there's literally no texture at all, the synthetic brushes are just, you get a softer dry brush, which is really, really nice. So I've decided moving forward, in my opinion, that my master brush sets, like if I'm going to invest in brushes, I need two types of dry brushes, the synthetics and the regular hog's hair white bristles, the interlock ones. So these, and they come in 0 to number 10, I believe, sizes, or maybe number 8. No, number 10. So they come in 0 to 10s, and Renee has them on her website in kits, or she's also having another master brush set raffle for $5 a ticket, and it's like $350 value worth of brushes. That's on Gammy'sHappyBees.com. You guys can purchase raffle tickets for that master brush set. But moving forward, if you were just going to buy, some good dry brushes, these are the two. These are the two that I would recommend for dry brushes. Then moving forward, I'm also recommending for myself personally, 2 different style of pastel brushes. The black swirls, which are the longer bristle ones, and they lay down the color really, really well. Hi, Susan. Hi, Vicky. But then also she has these Kolinsky sables, these blue handle ones. So now moving forward, when before, if you guys have been watching me for a while, I used to only use and now I haven't used them in so long. Now I forgot actually what they're called. Hold on, I have one right here. That's not the right one. The blue handle brushes that are on my website, and I still need to change that out. But these Kolinsky brushes, now I've gone from just using one brush when I do pastels to 2. And the reason is because they're the same material. These are, I just forgot what he told me. Weasel hair brushes. This is weasel hair. So are these. But in comparison, when you're looking at the 2, and I know we're not doing pastels right at this moment, but you guys, I do like to talk about brushes because I get asked a lot about brushes. Even though these are both pretty much the same, this is a number 4, this is a number 5. The length is a little bit longer. If you're comparing the 2 brushes, the length is longer on the black swirl, which is great for laying the color down, especially when you're working on a piece like this where you have to push that color up deep into those like triangle little intersection areas. But then when you come back in with this Kolinsky brush, the bristles are shorter and they're a little bit fatter. So even though they're still weasel hair brushes, the blending that you get with this is just top notch. I mean, this Kolinsky brush and blending pastels is unmatched. And I have used a lot of different brushes, and I stuck with that one brush that I got from Michael's for a really long time. And I loved the black swirls. And then when I started blending with the Kolinskys, it just gives you a completely different look. It's so much softer than if you just lay it down and blend it out with one of these longer hair brushes. Hi, Jenny. Thank you guys. I hope you missed me. I missed you guys. And now you guys are lucky because starting next week, because I had all those, like for 4 weeks, we did all these characters and I was doing lives like for 3 or 4 days a week. And then all of a sudden I went to nothing for 3 weeks. Facebook put me basically in Facebook jail. They stopped putting anything up on my algorithm. So now I have to start back over. So you guys are going to be seeing me doing some painting every day, probably for the next, I don't even know, 2 or 3 weeks. So what we're doing is I'm using the navy blue and we're doing our highlights on the black part of her hair. Okay. So I got a little bit distracted there, but I started talking about working outward so that if you do get blue anywhere, it's more on the purple hat than on the green face. So let's see, let's get this top part here. I don't know how well you guys can see that blue, but I'm going to add a little bit of I don't know, probably white to it. I need to think. I might add gray, but I don't have a gray handy right here with me on my desk. So it's probably going to be white just for the sake of this video. So you can see that really changes the look of the black hair. You bought this girl that haven't started her yet? Oh my gosh, well now's the time because it's almost Halloween, you guys. I'm ready. I love Halloween. It's my favorite, and I paint Halloween all year long, and I don't apologize for it. I love it. Last year, I bought a Halloween Christmas tree, and I set it up for Halloween, and then I left it up at Christmas, and I'm obsessed with Halloween. Obsessed. So got a really nice highlight there on the black part. Let's just go up here a little tiny bit more. It's looking pretty good. And, oh, you're welcome, Jackie. If you guys have any questions, you know, always just pop up and let me know. I'm here to answer them. And, you know, I don't really know what's in Renee's master brush set because, I mean, I would love to buy a ticket to win it. But, you know, I know that you guys, you know, that I want you guys to have that amazing prize because, you know, the guy from ZenBrush has told me that if I look at the website, he'll send me any brushes I want. So like I could get brushes if I didn't want to buy them or whatever. So, but I want you guys to, if you haven't gotten in on that raffle, because man, this is her second time doing it. And last time she gave away 4 master brush sets and they're like $350 value. So, and there's every kind of brush imaginable in that set. So I kind of like, see how I kind of like ombre these two things together where, you know, normally you may not really have color down in this part. You may only have it just on like the peak, not down here in the valley. But again, I wanted her full hair to look black and the full hair down here to look green. So I'm going to go ahead and do both. So even though I just did a highlight now, we still have to highlight on the top of our peak of the hair, right? So as long as I've got all my blue down first, I think I'm going to hit right here just a little bit more. I really like how that looks. I like her pretty ombre hair. Okay. So let's see, what color do I have that I can add here? Do I have the gray? No. So I don't think I want straight white. Let me think. Because, you know, my go-to for mixing is light buttermilk because I don't generally like to mix with white. I am using navy blue, Leanne. Jackie, you did purchase tickets on the new brush raffle? Oh, good. It's such a good deal. I mean, you only need to buy one ticket. It only takes one ticket to win for $5. I'd throw my hat in that ring. $350 and a custom, you know, like custom bag, brush bag for it too. So I think, I don't know, you guys. I think if I mix with this, I'm not probably going to get the color I want. So I'm going to probably have to do white this time. Such a tiny amount though. So give me just a second to get a little bit out onto my tray here because I don't want a lot of it for sure. Very, very tiny amount of white here. And then we'll do her eyes. Paint her eyes on. I decided I'm going to paint purple eyes. And I've never done that before, but hey, we're doing things we've never done before on this channel. So we're going to find out together like we always do. Okay, so that looks pretty good. I can try that. I think I might be able to make that work. If it's too light, I might have to add a little bit more blue in there. but I want it to just be a very small amount here and just right on the very tops of the hair. And again, I'm going to try to lay my paintbrush this way a little bit so I get a little bit more of a softer highlight and not such a hard ridge. I can kind of like maybe do just the very top of this one a little bit here. Let's see how this does. Okay, and then of course we have to get the front of her little bangs. And the sides around her face. You always need to remember to highlight the frame of the face. That's really important. Oh my gosh, these dogs. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Let me just hit this little spot right here one more time. See, I'm just not really, I don't know what's happening right here. My brush is not getting in there very well. Let me pick up a little bit more paint here. Just needed a little tiny bit more paint there. Even though it's dark underneath the hat and, you know, we're not normally going to be having a lot of color under there, we still have to frame her face out. So I'm kind of obsessed with this hair, you guys. Maybe I'll get my hair done like this for Halloween. That's so cute. It's just different, you know, and I like things that are I like to think outside the box. I don't want to do what everybody else is doing. All right, so that looks pretty good. So I'm going to rinse my brush. Yes, Jackie, tell us what's your favorite part about the brushes? Because that's right, you won the last brush raffle. Well, you were one of 4 people. And I mean, I just am like amazed at all the things that she got in there. I mean, it's amazing how many brushes. And Jackie, if you wouldn't mind, could you type out Renee's website where they go to get the brush raffle tickets? Because I can't type anything on my phone right now, obviously, and I didn't put a link to it in before I started. Thank you, Hari. You guys think I have a style? I don't know. It's crazy is what it is. Okay. So let's pick up, I'm going to grab my purple. We're going to do purple eyes. I think I need to do I don't know, I don't think I can get away with doing, I think the dark part of the eye needs to be dark purple and the light part needs to be the lighter. And I was thinking I would just use this one and add white, but that's going to be really, really, really bright. Thank you, Jackie. Okay, so I'm going to use the purple that we base coated with, dioxazine purple, and this might take 2 coats just because, you know, dioxazine purple, this purple, it's one of my most favorite colors, but it doesn't cover very well over white. And I can't remember whether I did white acrylic on the eyes or whether I used the Liquitex gesso first, because this stuff is great for painting over. Like, remember how these were all purple when we were dry brushing? I went and used the Liquitex and painted over the patches before I went and added the color, because if I would have tried to cover green over the purple, it would have taken like 20 coats. So if you use the Liquitex gesso, like if you make a mistake or you want to change a color or anything like that, you can put this down and it's already white. And then you can just paint either white paint on top or your regular acrylic paint over the top. And this will cover that dark color up really, really well. So let's see. I'm going to use my, it's funny. This has become kind of my favorite brush. This is the Russian Sable Angle Brush, and it's a Zem brush as well. It's a number 2, and it's curved like this. It's angled. It actually works really great for painting pure pupils. This is from all the Zem brushes that I use, you guys. You can get these from Gammy's Happy Bees. I don't know if this was in the master brush set. Jenny, didn't you win a master brush set? You did, didn't you? I guess you didn't get one of these. This is a really great brush. And then also another one that I really like is the cat's tongue brush. Let me find it really quick. Because I had never used one of these before, and it's a teeny tiny little, oh, it's not, I don't know where it is right now. I'm not going to use it. I'm not going to look for it because you can definitely check it out on her website. But this little angle brush works really well for doing pupils, right? So I'm going to start right in my middle. Going to come out about halfway. See, you can see this dioxazine purple just doesn't cover very well. Hang on a second. I'm actually going to use my go-to for my eyes just because I don't want to have to deal with this purple and not the brush that I'm most comfortable with. This is the MAC Tidwell Stubby brush. This is what I use for all of my, like the irises of the eye. Really everything on the eye. This is like my brush. And this brush is in a pack. It's available on Amazon, but she doesn't sell these on her site. So I'm going to go with what I am used to because of this color, and I know it's going to take a couple coats. So whenever I'm starting with eyes, I'm doing eyes, I'm always starting right in the middle of the eyebrow. I mean, the eye bone. Right in the middle and coming down halfway and coming down halfway on the other side. Okay, and then I'm going to flip it around. This one's going to be tricky because of her little hat, but we're going to connect the two sides. Got a lot of paint on there, so I got to come back and make sure I get all that excess paint off of her eyeball. And this is kind of also the thing with painting over white, you know, it's just hard to do. That's why I never base coat my pieces. Some people paint their pieces white before they get started. And I'm like, why do you do that? Because then your colors it's so much harder to cover your colors over white. So I needed this iris to be a little bit bigger. So I'm going to just make it a little bit bigger on that side. I'm going to come down a little bit on this side. I need to flip it around. Make sure I come back and get all those brush strokes out. Okay, so that's one. When Renee told me I should do purple eyes, I was like, what? What are you even talking about? That'll be weird. And she told me she used to have purple contacts back in the day when colored contacts were cool. And I was like, she goes, they were so pretty. People would always ask me about, you know, my eye color when I would go out. And I thought, all right, well, I've never done purple eyes before. Let's try it. I'm all about trying something different. Hi, Marianne. Raphael. How do you say that? Raphael. That's fun to say. Okay, I'm going to come down here. I got to meet this bottom and connect these two sides. This is really why I like this brush for eyeballs, you guys, because it gives me really good control. The bristles are longer. So you can really meet up both sides of the circle really nicely with this brush. Okay, that pupil, that eyeball is too small. So I'm going to come back up here. I'm going to come down on this side definitely quite a bit more. See, how does that look? I still need to come down a little bit farther, I think. I feel like a little bit more paint here. I really need my magnifiers on. Right now I just have my reading glasses and they work okay, but they're not great. I usually wear my magnifiers for eyes because, in my opinion, so many people complain about how hard eyes are to do, but if you just wear the magnifiers, it really does change the outcome tremendously. In fact, I'm going to put them on after I get this first coat of color down here. Whenever I do like a dark color eye, like a dark blue or a dark green, I will do 2 coats of my base coat color. This eye needs to be a little bit bigger now. I can see it's not quite centered right. But I like to do 2 coats of color just because I feel more comfortable with full coverage. I don't know how big the pupil of the eye is going to be sometimes, and so I don't want any of that underneath coat color showing through. So I'm going to let that base coat dry here really fast. Renee, you had to change your phone. Oh, okay. What do you think about the purple eyes? I was just telling them your contact story, how you convinced me to do purple eyes. Renee has really good ideas. Like sometimes I'll say like, oh, I'll paint hearts on it. And she'll go, if you paint hearts on one more thing. Oh, that reminds me, you guys. Yesterday I was debating whether or not to dry brush this cape because, it's flat and there's no texture and I wasn't getting the coverage I wanted. And so I was getting really impatient and annoyed. So I literally filmed a video of me trying to, and I'll post it for you guys as an epic fail because it was such an epic fail. I'm going to show you what I tried to do yesterday. I don't know if you guys know this, Renee printed me some chevron patterned stencils. So I was thinking I would take this chevron and like put it on the cape this way. So I cut a piece and I tried putting it on this way. I tried putting it on this way and folding it over. I tried putting it on this way. And what it would have ideally might have worked except for this curve. This little curve right here in her hair. Every time I would get it lined up, it would start to curve and I would try to turn it and it wouldn't. And so I probably spent an hour trying to lay this vinyl down on this cape because I thought it would be so cute to have a chevron cape. I used the transfer tape and everything and I just could not get it to work. So yes, I'm going to get this chevron pattern on something. I don't know what it is, but one day I'm going to get it on something because it's my absolute favorite. Okay, so let me do one more super quick coat of purple on her eyeball. And then I'm just going to bust out this pastel powder and we're going to do her makeup really quick. I've got a lot of paint on there right there. So let me switch over to this eye. And you can just see, like, for me, because I'm a bit of a perfectionist, I'm not going to go on and do more layers of the eye without having the color base that I want to start with. So that may require 2 coats. And that just is what it is. I love the purple eyes too, Jenny. I think they're going to be super cute. We shall see. We shall see. Okay. So let those dry for a second. I'm going to rinse my brush. We'll do some, trying to think if I should do her. I think before, didn't we decide we needed to paint the eyeshadow on first and then do the lashes? I'm pretty sure that's how we talked about doing it, if I remember correctly. Oh, hold on, wait a second. I forgot the little broom eyes too. So for the broom eyes, I'm going to use the honey brown. Just paint his little pupils on here with the same brush. Going to do it down at the bottom down here. So we'll just do a little eyeball down here. And I'm going to go all the way down to the bottom of the eye. I'm not going to leave any white down there. Just creating a little half circle here, a little half moon, whatever you want to call it. No pressure. You look symmetrical. This one looks like it needs a little more oomph at the top. Okay. All right, let me rinse this brush. Check the comments. I'm out of purple paint. Oh man, I can never be out of purple paint. It's my favorite. The number two filbert for eyes. You're crazy. What? No, it was either, I'm pretty sure it was the angled brush, but what is this filbert? Is this the one that you're talking about? Because I was like, should I use that? Is this the one you're talking about, Renee? The Black Swirl Filbert watercolor. Yeah, this is probably the one. I told you, I'm discombobulated. It's going to take me 2 weeks to get back into my routine. All right, so let's just, because our makeup isn't really showing up on here, let's just do her. I feel like we should do the makeup first and then do the eyeliner and the lashes. Okay, so I'm going to go grab my purple. This is just the violet pastel powder. And then also we were using black. And let me just check my metallics here for a second because I want to see if there's what the purple metallic looks like. So Pan Pastels have these metallic and pearlescence as well. And this, I'm wondering if this would show up at all on as a highlight. And I don't think we tried this already, but I might just try it. Let's get the purple and black on there first, and then we'll see how it goes. So for laying down the color, I'm just going to use this Kolinsky, this number 2. And you want to make sure that you've got a clean brush to start. You guys know that I don't ever wash my pastel brushes. Renee washes hers occasionally. We've talked about it, but I don't. And you can get one of these on her website as well. She has all the brush supplies, you guys. So if you need brushes, she also sells the water jars and the water cleaners and stuff. So all the supplies you need for brushes, you can get everything in that one-stop shop. So we're going to make sure that that's clean really well. And I'm going to go to my purple, and we're just going to do our purple on the inside here first to start. Because we already did one layer of makeup. And now we kind of want to accentuate, because we are putting purple on top of green. They're 2 dark colors. So sometimes you may get, a situation where you might need a second coat, which is totally okay. We use the Krylon matte finishing spray with the pastels, which is this one. And the matte finish is super important. You can get this on Amazon. You can get it at Michael's. You can buy it on my website, hopeanddimples.com. But this is the only one, because this is the one that allows you, because of the finish being matte finish, you can go back and you can add multiple layers of pastels. So there have been some pieces that I have sprayed, 7 or 8 times and gone back and added more and more pastel color. So we're going to go ahead and just lay this down in the corner here. I'm not going to worry too much about the eyeball, because we're going to also paint. I don't know if you can tell, but I got a little bit of purple powder on the purple eyeball, but we're going to paint lashes, liner, and a pupil on her eye. So I'm not going to worry too much about that little bit of overflow there. Okay, and then we'll come over here on this side, and we'll start in this corner. It's almost the same color purple. That's crazy. And didn't we also decide that we were going to do black lipstick on this little girl? I can't remember. I feel like she's got a lot of purple on her face, so she may need some black lipstick. Okay, so that looks pretty good. So I'm going to pick up my black now. We're going to start over in the corner over here, and we're just going to meet up with that purple. I'm going to come out pretty far, like almost like a wing liner on her eyeshadow there. Going to come up into that purple a little bit. It's pretty dark. Oh my gosh. I hope you guys can't hear that dog. He's howling outside. How embarrassing. All right, so we'll come up here. Let's blend this out a little bit. Now I'm going to try to pull that black up into the purple just a tad bit at the top. Because I want it to really have a dark arch up here on the top of underneath the brow. So really want to soften that up a lot. Over here I can see, looking at it, there's really no blend right here on the eye. It's just like the purple and black just meet up. Versus on this eye, you can see I kind of pulled the black up a little bit more on the top right there. So it doesn't actually, it looks like one color is kind of curving into the other. Versus on this eye, it's just like these two colors just meet here. So I'm going to pick up a tiny little bit of black just right on the very tip of that brush. And I'm just going to come up right on the top. Right on the very top up here. So now I've got kind of, I don't know if you really can see that very well, but hopefully you can see it kind of, it's like a wave. When a wave is crashing, the wave is reaching its peak down here, and as it starts to turn, it's going to create this underneath shadow where it starts to change shape. The color starts to change shape. So yeah, you could just meet it up and have two lines of color, but you really want to have that arch where the wave starts to come down. That wave of color starts to follow the eye. Okay, so that looks pretty good. So I think I need to spray it because I want to try to add that purple, the pearlescent. And I definitely don't want to mix the pearlescent with the purple and black that I just put down. So if you guys would just, actually, while I still have this out and I haven't sprayed it yet, let me just I'm going to grab my green here for a second because I see a couple spots where I can add a little bit more green, and I have some see-through that I probably don't really want here. So let me just see. Right up here in this deep corner of her cheek, I feel like I can have a little bit more of a shadow here. I still can see where the paint is really showing through versus having a nice smooth, like right here, I can see pieces where the powder didn't cover very well on right there. And you can see the underneath color. That's whatever you want to try to get rid of when you're working with pastels. You do not want any of that underneath color showing through when you come in with your powder. So that's why I like to use those Kolinskis for shading, because like I'm going to come up in here and I'm really going to be able to, with this black swirl brush, really pinpoint that color where I need it to be, like right in the nostril, let's say, right up underneath the nose. I want a little bit of a darker shadow right in these really deep spaces. I'm going to come in right here and add a little bit more of a shadow. Right here in the corner of the eye, maybe I want a little bit of a deeper shadow here. So once I get that really nice green laid down, then I can come back in with that Kolinsky, which is a little bit of a bigger blending brush, and kind of blend that powder out. So it gives me a nice soft transition from one color to the next, you know. Both brushes will do this, you know. This one just does it a little bit better than this one. But they both lay down the color fantastically. So one little bit more. I can't even talk. One little bit right here, and then I'll go spray this, and then we'll do that highlight on her eyes. Also, you know, if you really want to do another highlight here, you can come in with your tint. And really, you know, this spray face has already been sprayed one time. So this is just really making that powder just really pop with a second pass. And you don't have any other colors laid down here because, you know, it's already been sprayed. So you can come back in. I'm going to grab a number. Is this a number 4? Just this number 4 gives me a little bit of a better blend. Like I said, you can lay the colors down with those black swirls, but then when you come in with the Kolinskis, it gives you such a softer blend on those colors. You know, you can really, like, it just went from looking like a line of pastel powder to now actually looking like an actual highlight as part of the, you know, part of the actual cheek. Right? So I'm going to show you the difference. So I'll use the black swirl to lay the color down on this side. I got to be careful too, because I have that dark green that I laid down there just a minute ago, and I don't want to blend those two colors together. So you can see the difference, right? Like, this is just laying it down with this pastel brush. This one is laying it down, but then blending it out with the Kolinsky. So I don't know about you guys, but I can tell a definite difference. This is more of like a line versus this is more of an actual highlight on the face. Hi, Tammy. Hi, Jane. So let's blend this out here. Again, we want to be careful not to get into that green that we just laid down there, because that'll just give us a dirty look. So what I did was I used the tint. This is the Hansa Yellow tint. And if you remember, we used the Hansa Yellow tint pastel powder on the cheeks. And then there's a tint as well. So we just put the tint on top. I think I want to do just a tiny little bit more of this tint right on the tip of the nose. I feel like she needs just a little tiny bit of a highlight here. And then if you guys are okay with black lipstick, then I'm going to put black on her lips too. So let me do that really fast before I go spray it. I'm thinking if I should paint the lipstick on or if I should just do the pastel powder, I guess. We'll start with that and see how it looks. Because it may need to be painted on, you know. I don't know if it's going to show up like I want it to. Plus, you know, you have to be careful with this black, because if you don't blow it gently or kind of, you know, be really careful and ginger about where it goes, it can end up in places that you don't want it. Like on the white part of the eye, and then you're going to have to redo the eyes. So I'm just feeling like maybe I need to put black lipstick on with paint and not pastels. So let me go spray this really quick, you guys, and we'll come back and finish the eyes. Also, I think most of you guys know about when you're spraying the pastel powder down, you know, when you're using this spray, shake it up really well. Definitely spray it outside. And you want to hold it pretty far away from the piece, you know, at least 12 inches. And work in short bursts, like when you spray it, spray like this. Psh, 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 psh. Don't hold it down like this. Psh. Because the reason for that is because when you have this powder down, this aerosol can, it's pressure. So when you hold it down and spray it, it'll blow the powder all over in places that you don't want it to be. So it's important to work in short, small bursts when you're working with that pastel powder. Okay, so let me grab this pearlescent violet. These pearlescents are not part of the regular pan pastel pack, by the way, you guys. I purchased these extra. They're a separate pack, and it's pearlescents and metallics. I don't know if you can see very well because of my ring light, but there's bronze, gold, silver, black, you know, black pearlescent, green, blue, purple. It's all the colors. They've been hit or miss for me with the ceramics. Sometimes they show up really well and sometimes they don't. But this color is so beautiful that I just thought, well, maybe, and it doesn't even look like I've ever used it. So we're going to try it and see if it shows up on top of the eyes. So let me grab, I need a really tiny brush for this application. And I'm not finding it. Hold on. I need to get my space organized. Okay. I've got the number 0 black swirl round watercolor. This comes in a kit. All these black swirl round watercolors come in a kit on Renee's website. Hi, Patty. Hi, Debbie. If you guys haven't checked out the black swirl brushes, that they're literally the only thing I'm using anymore, except for my MAC Tidwell stubby brush, and you have to get these on Amazon. MAC Tidwell stubby, they come in a kit. This is actually like brushes you would use for car detailing. That it's the kit. So you may not use other brushes in that set, but this one is uber important. It comes in this set like this. So these brushes are more for like car detailing. You can see the bristles are really, really long on these liners. These are for, you know, doing like pinstriping and stuff. So there may not be a time that you may ever use these type of brushes. But like this scrubby brush for sure you would use. It's a really nice flat brush for base coating. And then of course the stubby is my go-to for eyes. I just put it in the pastel powder. Anyway, that kit is on Amazon and they're MAC Tidwell brushes. And I think it's like $28 for all those, that kit I just showed you. So going back to the Zem round swirl, black swirl round watercolor, and I'm going to try this. I don't know if it's going to work. It may not show up at all. Sometimes that happens, but we're going to try it. If it doesn't work, I'll go back to my original plan, which was just the violet by itself. So what I'm going to try to do is add a tiny little frosty highlight on the top of the eyes. And see, it's not showing up. Okay, so sometimes that happens. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to scrap the pearlescent and I'm going to go back to the violet tint. This is going to give me the highlight without that extra, you know, the glitter in it, which is what the glitter stuff is what makes it so it doesn't stick very well. So coming in here, we'll go ahead and just highlight the very top of the eye shadow. Gonna come over into this corner and we're gonna kind of die off there a little bit. Can come out over on the top of the wing if you want, like that. That looks cute. Then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to do just a little tiny highlight right in the corner of her eye. Like that. Now, I could go all the way under the eye, I guess, and do like a highlight underneath the eye, but I kind of don't know if I want to mesh into these cheeks too much. Because I don't know if how that would look. Let's get the other eye done and see how it looks. So I'll go ahead and put our line here. I'm not going to go all the way over, just about midline there. Oh my gosh, these dogs. I hope you guys can't hear them. I'm sure you can because they're so loud and obnoxious. I usually don't do lives when I have these two particular dogs at my house because they're barkers. For those of you guys who don't know, I have a dog boarding business as well, and it can get crazy in my house sometimes. I've had dogs all week. That's mainly the main reason why I haven't been online. It's so hard to do. The minute someone knocks on my door, they go berserk. Okay, that looks pretty good. I don't know. I'm going to definitely have to do some glitter on the eyeshadow because something needs to make her eyes pop a little bit. So let's see. Let's come over here and do a little corner of her eye. Do you guys think I should go underneath her eye too? I don't know. The dogs don't bother you? Okay, good. Good. Okay, so, I don't know how I'm feeling about this. I don't know. It needs something. So I'm going to set this aside. I'm going to come back to my... I'm going to grab my black. I'm going to use my high flow. I think I'm going to have to go spray her eyes again one more time because I don't want the high flow acrylic. And you guys, this is golden high flow acrylics, what I always use on the eyes and the lashes. This is available in black. It's all the colors, but I keep the black and white on hand, white for highlights and the black for lashes and all the other stuff, all the eyes. You can get these. There's a link to these on my website too, just the smaller bottles. I buy the big bottles because I use a lot of it. So let me go spray this eyeshadow down really quick and then we'll paint the eyeballs and the eyeliner and lashes. Hang on one second. Okay. So she definitely needs black on her lips as well. So let's see here. Put some high flow on my tray. Hi, Kay. I just changed the whole look. I was wondering if you guys would notice if you remembered that we had yellow hair before. And what else? Her cape was a different color. I can't even remember what it was before now because I've been gone away from her for so long. I have to go back and watch the video with you guys because I don't know. I just know now she looks like the little witch I kind of envisioned, and I don't know why I didn't think about painting her green, her skin green. I mean, I do know because she's a little girl and you don't think about actually doing green skin, but of course she needs to be green because if it was her Halloween costume, she probably would, she'd probably want to paint her skin green. I don't know. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick up some of my black high flow acrylic and we're going to do the pupil of her eye. So again, I'm going to always start right in the middle. You can kind of put like a little dot there if you want so you know where your midline is. And you're going to always start at the top of the eyelid. Work your way halfway down. Come back. Work your way halfway down and meet in the middle. That's probably a pretty good pupil size there, so we'll fill that in. I may need to make it a little bit bigger, but we'll start with that. Okay, so it's definitely not as, it's more oblong instead of round, so I need to just adjust. Let me put my magnifiers on, and you guys, if you haven't heard me talk about the magnifiers yet, these magnifiers, in my opinion, are a game changer when you're talking about painting eyes. Especially like if you have trouble reading things up close, this little clip comes out and there's 5 different magnifications. I'm using the 20, but it goes from 10 to 100, and it comes in a nice little travel pack. I got this on Amazon. I'll try to remember to put a link in the comments after this is over, but in my opinion, the magnifiers are absolute necessity if you paint a lot of eyes, because it really does allow you to see things in a completely different light. So I'm going to make this just a little bit bigger here. I'll make sure you flip it around and it's symmetrical from the top and bottom. I actually made it a little bit bigger than I wanted to, but that's okay. I'll use the lighter purple for the highlight to make it not seem so big. So I'm going to come down again halfway, make a little circle. The key is that you want to start at the eyelid line, and you don't want to have too much space in between the pupil of the eye and the iris of the eye up at the top. Like you want it to kind of, you don't want to leave too much space over here at the top, if that makes sense. So I can kind of see like I need to meet this little line right here. Now I can come back and fill it in. Got a little bit too much paint on my brush there. Okay, do they look about the same size? It's hard to tell on the purple. But I can see on this eye, I don't know if you can tell the way that the light is, but there's quite a bit more purple up here than there is black in this little corner. So I definitely need to pull that out of there a little bit more and come out just a tad bit. That looks probably as close as I'm going to get it. Let me come down just a little bit right here. Now remember, you guys, there's lots of different ways to paint eyes. You know, I have done it many times. Many different ways. You can start out with the black and then paint your color and then paint your, do black and then the iris and then the pupil. But I've kind of gotten out of the habit of doing black first just because it's hard to cover, and I don't have some people will just paint the black on like an afterthought, like a comma around the color after they're done, but I can't ever seem to make mine look right, so I don't like doing it that way. But I've kind of just gotten out of the habit of painting a black base first and just doing the dark green and then the light green and then the pupil. Some people want that black line around it. So you could take a tiny little detail brush and paint the outside line around the green black, or you could do a black base and then green, then light green, and then more black. It's however you want to do it. But whenever you put black down first, you end up having to do multiple coats to cover the black. So I've kind of gotten out of the habit of doing that. Your husband bought you the magnifier set for your birthday. Oh, isn't it awesome? And it's funny because once you start using it, you won't ever be able to paint eyes without it ever again. Okay, so I'm going to grab a liner brush. Let me see, which one do I want to use here, because I also got sent some of these mongoose brushes. And I haven't even tried these out yet, but these look like pretty awesome detail brushes. This is mongoose hair. So I got some of those from Zem as well, and I haven't even tried them out, but let's see. I need a detail brush for her liner, her eyeliner, and her lashes. So I want something that's not too long, because if it's too long, the lashes won't work, but I don't want something too short because then the lashes will be too fat. I did a video a few weeks ago where I showed you the difference in how your lashes will come out by painting it on a plastic cup. We tried different lengths of brushes so you guys could see how the brushes, the lashes look different based on whether you use a long bristle brush like this or a short, flat, tiny detail brush. This is a 20/0, and I'm pretty sure this is the one I used before, but this is the one I'm going to use to put her liner on for sure. Now, anytime you're working with liner like we're doing, hi Deanna, anytime that you're working with like eyes and you're going to be doing, that 20 might be too long now that I'm looking at it. Let me look at the 10, hold on. Try the 5. So the 5/0 is also a great detail brush. In the difference between the two, they're both detail brushes, but the 20/0 versus the 5/0 is much longer and has more of a detailed tip, like more of a point. So yeah, if you only had one detail brush, you could use these for both things. But if you want short, fat lashes and really thick eyeliner, you're going to use a brush that splits. When you put pressure on it, see how it splits apart? It like spreads apart when you put a lot of pressure on it. Versus this brush, when you put pressure on it, it doesn't spread apart. So you're going to get a more precise, sharp line on her eyelid using the 20/0 and very long, pointy, precise lashes. Versus this one, when you push down on it, it spreads out. So you're going to have fat, short lashes. I hope that makes sense. So they're pretty drastic in the difference. There's also a 10/0. So let's see, that's going to be an in between those two. Let me just grab that because that one might be like the sweet spot for me. See, the 10/0 is still pretty long too. A good way to test is just come in where you're going to put your first line. I usually start here to make my eyeliner line and see how far does that spread out when I lay it down. I think this is probably going to be the one I use. So this is the 10/0. We're going to start with this one, okay? Now this is this is just a detail brush, the Black Swirls long liners. You can get these in a kit, I believe, too. Whenever you're working with this high flow acrylic, you want to make sure that your brush has a very sharp point when you are loading your paintbrush. If you load it up and you come at it like this and you have that big glob of paint on there, you're going to end up with a mess. So you want to make sure you get that glob of paint on there, off of there, so that when you come in to your piece, you have a very crisp, sharp line like that. And that's why I like to use the high flow acrylic versus the just acrylic, because this is really thick. The high flow is very fluid and runny, and it allows you to, use precise, especially when you're doing lashes. Everything gets more precise with the high flow. So I'm just going to come in here and start in this corner, and I'm going to kind of turn her body. I'm not really turning the brush as much as I'm turning her this way. So you kind of get in the habit of turning her versus turning your brush. You get a little bit easier flow there. So come in here. I'm going to meet in the middle. Oh, I did the wrong eye. That's okay. Come back to this one and meet in the middle. I should have just done both. And I was going to do a winged liner. So let's just come out here a little bit because we're going to do a wing tip. Ooh, let's just see how this is going to look. The other thing about these longer liner brushes, hold on. Okay. The thing about these longer liner brushes is you can work really slow and allow the brush to lay that paint down for you. So you want to kind of hold it in more of a horizontal position as you're moving the piece versus holding it more up and down like this. It's going to lay a lot better in those creases for you. Load up some more paint in my brush here. I can see that I need a little bit more of a liner on her eye because I've got a little bit more paint on here. So let's thicken up her eyeliner line. I'm going to come up a little bit higher on her eye bone here. I just want a thicker eyeliner line. So it looks like she has a lot of eyeliner on her eye. So let's see. Load up some more paint. I'm going to come out on the wingtip here like we did on the other one. Just lay those bristles right into that crease of the eye. Come back over here and make this side thicker too. Looks pretty good. I might need to come in right here a little bit more. That looks pretty good. So let me see. Let me rinse this brush. I just need to clean it off before I do the lashes. Because you definitely want to make sure that you have a nice crisp brush when you're doing your lashes. So you're going to keep using that same high flow. I haven't really done anything with her makeup. I don't know if I'll put any glitter on her eyes or not. Now, I've got a pretty significant amount of paint on there, probably too much. So let me get some of that off. Because remember, we want really crisp points on our brush when we're doing lashes. So we're going to turn her over and we're just going to start here. And you kind of are just doing like a little comma shape, right? So you're going to start, lay it down and pull up. Lay it down and pull up. Lay it down and pull up. We'll just come down here and do this one. Oh my gosh, she's so cute. Then do we want to come over here and do some little lashes on this side? Let's see. Oh, I really love those thick lashes. Oh, those turned out amazing. So do I want to do two? How did we do it on the other little girl? We did, but I don't know. I think I'm going to just leave them as is. Bridget, please don't forget to put the link up for the magnifiers. Oh, I will. And if you guys come back and I haven't put it in, just leave a comment or DM me because Renee's really good about putting the links up, but she's not watching right now. So, okay, so I'm going to come back over here. I've got my crisp line. Let's remember, you're always doing your lashes upside down too, like, so you get that curve. We're doing the comma, pull down and pull up, pull down and pull up. Just come down here. That one right there. Okay. Oh my gosh, those are like bat wing lashes. Ah! I love it. Okay, let me rinse this brush because we need to put our little highlight on her eyeball now that the black is dry. Excuse me. So I'm going to go to my light purple that we dry brushed with, which is Purple Pizzazz. Remember, whenever you're doing eyes, you need your eye color and then you need a highlight color for the eye. So you need 2 shades of whatever color you're doing the eyes. Okay, again, we want to make sure we don't have a lot of paint on the tip of our brush, just a crisp, sharp line. And we're just going to go right underneath the black and we're going to do our highlight right like a little comma right on the bottom of the eye here. Just like that. I am kind of obsessed with these purple eyes, you guys. Oh my gosh, she's so cute. I feel like I maybe need to come over a little bit more, like we need a little bit more on this side. Let's just meet in the middle here. Ah, she's so cute. Oh my gosh, I have to tell Renee a huge thank you for trying to convince me to do purple eyes, because I was like, what? But it totally goes with her outfit and how, like, now I want purple contacts. Okay, so I'm also going to, I don't usually do this, but because I really want her eyes to be like spectacular, I've got my base coat color, the dark purple. We've got our highlight color, the purple pizzazz. Now I'm going to just put a little tiny bit of white in my brush. Actually, let me take a little bit of this and put it on my paint tray, because I'm going to do a little bit of paint mixing here. Okay, let's see. I need to get a little bit more white because my white dried. Thank you guys for being patient. Just takes, I don't want any paint to dry in my brushes, so. Deanna, I love the eyes too. It's gonna be hard to part with this set, you guys, but I love, you know, doing raffles with you guys and being able and knowing that like this set, when I'm all done with it and we've put so much love and time and care into it and you guys have seen it come to life, that somebody's going to just enjoy it so much. So I put so much love and thought into these little sets, and makes me so happy that people actually, you know, are interested in them. So I added a tiny little bit of white to my brush. I just have a lighter shade of lilac here on this, and I'm just going to do a tiny little highlight right on the very top. You know, actually you could do something like this. Just making little like dashes of lighter colors in our eyes here. I don't know. I'm just always thinking of like, how can we do eyes a little bit different this time? Because eyes are one of those things where everybody's like, oh my gosh, eyes are so hard, you know? And so if you just show a couple different ways. You know, then somebody might be like, oh, I really love that way of doing eyes. Maybe I'll try to do it that way. I feel like these kind of look like contacts now, you know, because in the contacts you would have like real kind of like lines in there. I don't know. I just like, you know, again, thinking outside the box. So then once we've got that done, we'll rinse this brush, and then we've got to do our little dots on the eye, our little reflection dots. So I'm going to need some white. My little daughter tool. I like to use this number, is it the number 3? Oh, it says 3 dot tool 3, but size 0. I like to use this small one for the dots on the eyes. And I'm just going to use regular white. I'll do 2 little dots. She's so cute. I'm also sitting here thinking, like, what could I put? I'm just going to do it. Hold on. I feel like she needs like a little ring on her finger. And you know what would be so cute is like an orange rhinestone that I could glue on there on her little hand. I wonder if I have any. I have rhinestones. I just don't know if I have any orange ones. But I think a little orange ring would be so cute. Her eyes, I think her eyes turned out adorable. What do you guys think? Where did I purchase them from? Where did I purchase what from? I forget what we were. The little daughter tools. These are available with the detail stuff on the Zem GammiesHappyBees.com is where I got my brushes from. They're the Zim brushes. Let's see. You guys, I'm really kind of like wondering what can we do on her? I just feel like I need some glitter on her eyes, maybe. I don't know. Oh, hold on. I just thought of something. Maybe like a little, no, I'm not doing that either. She definitely needs some earrings. Okay. So like here, we've got some orange. Let me break my orange out here. I'm just going to break my orange out. I'm just going to do it. Now I'm going to grab the Tool 5. I don't really understand this. Tool 5, but it's size 2. But this is also Tool 3, but size 0. I'm confused. I'm going to have to ask him why he names them that way. I would think it would be just size 0, dotting tool, size 0, size 2. So anyway, so I'm going to grab the orange, and I'm going to grab my daughter's. I'm going to put some earrings on her, you guys, and a little ring on her finger. And maybe, I don't know, like maybe I can put little pumpkin faces on these earrings. That might be too difficult to do. But that would be cute though. Okay, and then I'm going to put a little dot ring right here on her finger. Maybe I'll make this a pumpkin, so we'll make it a little bit bigger. She'll have a pumpkin ring on her hand. Okay, so we'll let that dry for a second. And really, you guys, I need to probably pastel her before I add the details on. While I have the black out, let's also do my little guy's eyes down here. Let me find what brush am I going to use for that. Mini liner 50. This 50 will probably work. Let me see. Let's grab a little black here. I'm going to do his little eyeballs. Oh my gosh, he's so cute. I'm definitely going to have to do like lining his eyes, putting some lashes on him, I don't know. My hand is shaking so bad right now because this is such a tiny little spot. Let me just make sure I've got, because I get the magnifiers out so I can see what I'm doing right now. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm obsessed with those eyes, you guys. Oh my gosh. Let's put some black on her lips because we just decided we're going to do black paint instead of pastels. Just going to load this up. My paint's starting to get thick, so that's the only bad thing about this high flow acrylic. It dries really quick, so you have to kind of like add more. It starts to get really thick the longer and it doesn't have to sit out for very long either. So with her lips, I don't know. I feel like orange lipstick probably would have looked really good, but we have an orange lipstick already, so I didn't want to do 2 orange lipsticks. Okay, let's fill this in because we can't leave it like that. And once this dries, we can put our high gloss on it. I guess I don't really need to put glitter on. She's gonna have like lip liner on because I accidentally went a little bit too far. her lip. Now it looks like she got lip injections. Oh my gosh, I went way over the top. Okay, I'm gonna have to even that out because I can't wipe this high flow off. It's pretty, I think it's stained, so her lips are gonna be big on the top. I hope she doesn't look weird. She might look pretty adult with her makeup on after this. I don't know, so we'll see. Oh my gosh. Hilarious. Oh man, hilarious. Okay. That's clown makeup. I don't know. It's over the top. All right, but it is what it is. It's on there now. So it's already pretty glossy, this high flow. So I think that not putting any glitter on it probably, I got really off the line right there, and there's just no coming back from it. So I also need to do like the little line on the ring, her ring. Like, let's see, we need a little dash on this side. Little dash on this side. So it looks like a ring, and she probably needs a face on the ring too, so it looks like a pumpkin, right? Let's see if we can do it. Not with this brush. Let me change brushes. Whew, this is going to be a test of my skills, you guys, because this might be the tiniest. It's going to be even tinier than the pumpkin flashlight. So what do we have here? I'm going to use this 10/0 Black Swirl Mini Liner. And then I'm not going to talk for a minute because I'm going to hold my breath. And you guys, that is the fad big lips. It totally is, Wendy. That's why I'm just like okay with it. I do think like, let's see, let's connect a little bit right here. Okay. So I'm going to take this little mini liner. I'm going to hold my breath. Here we go. Oh my gosh, I don't know if it looks like a pumpkin, but it's the closest thing I'm getting to a pumpkin. Oh my gosh, you guys, I can't even. Okay, and then like I totally need some I'm not trying pumpkins on the I think he needs a little like he needs like a little stem on the top of his head up here though. Let's put a little stem up there. Even though it's black, I don't care. I'm not. Looks like a pumpkin robot. Oh my gosh. Shaky hands. Oh my gosh. Leslie, I'm telling you, it's so hard to do. It's so hard to do. All right, let's see here. What are we going to do with his little eyes? I can't use that brush for that either. This lip is just not meshing here, you guys. Hold on a second. I got to do something with this side. I just feel like they're not symmetrical, but... Okay, so let me rinse this brush. Keep moving my water over here. On his little eyes, definitely gonna have to use a tiny little. What in the world is that? Was that there the whole time? I guess it was. Oh, I want to show you guys something. I discovered a company reached out to me about being a paid affiliate with their product. So they sent me some products, and I'm in the like early stages of this. But I wanted to show you guys this tool. This is a sanding stick. These are from Excel blades. I got a few tools from them. I got a blade, like an art knife, X-Acto knife. I got a weeding tool, which is really nice for the vinyl. And then I got these sanding sticks. The sanding stick, which I love this thing because for Bisque especially, it comes with these replaceable sanding belts. And this is 120 grit sandpaper on this belt. I also got these files with a handle. And you guys, if you want to order these things, I'm going to be doing a paid affiliate program with them, just FYI. And I'll be posting a couple videos here shortly, hopefully. But I'm most excited about this tool right here because this is like an X-Acto knife, and it's got these long metal sanding blades on it. So you literally can get into like tight spots, like say like down here where maybe you might not be able to get in between, something like that. So I'm going to post a video as soon as they approve it. I did it over the weekend, but I just want to show you guys this sanding stick because this is what made me think of it. I wish that I would have sanded that out. Looking at this now and the more pieces that I do, in my past life, I would have just gotten a piece from somebody, and if it was a bad cleaning job, I'd be like, oh, okay, well, I guess I can't do anything with that because it's already been fired, so I'll just have to paint over it or whatever. But that's not the case with this sanding stick. So I just want to show you guys this thing really quick. The demo that I did yesterday, and I'll post the video as soon as they approve it. I cleaned one of my Old World Santas that I got that the cleaning job was not great at all. This sanding stick, when you need a new piece, you literally just, turn this thing like this, and you can change it to a new place on the paper, on the pen, this little attachment thing. So I had never thought about using anything like this on ceramics, but then Kira at Cottage Cupboard had one of these when she came to Dimple Fest. She also sent me some sanding sticks with different grits of sandpaper. And I don't know if she has these on her website, but all these are different grits, and you can use these to get into some of these, really exceptionally tight spaces. So like looking at this piece, I can see right here, I don't know if you guys can see that. You can see some lines where it didn't get cleaned great. Right here, I've got a spot where there's still some of that bisque didn't get cleaned away. You can still see the seam right here. Like right here, you can see the seam. So this is 120 grit sandpaper on this sanding stick. And then, you can order these from Kira probably. I don't know if she sells these, but these are the finer grit. So you can get the heavy duty stuff off with this 120 grit paper. And then you can come in with like a smoother, like a 220 grit that's really fine, and you can smooth out some of those hard lines. So I just want to show you guys. I'll do this spot right here where it's the most, intense. And I really love the angle of it because it really, for what we use it for, it really is nice because it's got that half, triangle shape on there. It's just the triangle shape. It kind of goes over those rounded edges really nicely. So, I just ran over this just, a couple little passes right here, and I just sanded out. I just sanded out that little mistake right there where it didn't get cleaned very well. And I'm always of the mentality that like, this isn't my responsibility. Okay. If I order bisque from somebody, I do not want to have to do this, period. But I also know that not everybody cleans greenware to my standard and what I want. So plus I think this is textured, you know, I'm looking at it and I can see like a texture on the hat. So when you come in with something like this after the fact, you know, you're not going to get that texture on there when you sand it out of here. It's already been fired. If it was greenware, you could put the texture back in with the texture tool. You know, then you kind of got to decide, do you want the smooth texture so you can't see the seam, or do you want this texture? Maybe you don't care about this. You're going to cover it with some textured snow or something anyway. But I am really obsessed with this tool. And if you guys want to purchase one of these, this is from Excel Blades. I think that Kira at Cottage Cupboard had looked into being being a distributor from these guys, but I don't know anything about that. I just know that they contacted me to try out some of their products, and I absolutely love this sanding stick. And really, I just haven't had the opportunity yet to try out the sanding blades, but I just want to show you guys, because the fact that it comes with a tool, you guys know I love new toys, right? I mean, look at this thing. That is like a really, if you've got a spot like this and you need to be able to get in there, I feel like this is what I got them for anyway. I don't know how this is going to work, but I felt like if I had something that could kind of get like in between tiny little spots, that's what I got those for. So I'm going to try those out in another video. But I don't have a coupon code or anything like that. I just wanted to demo and show you guys, because I am going to be going over some of my pieces that need a little bit of extra love and sanding them out with that sanding tool when I get to be working on like some of these other smaller projects. But I want to get this set done first. So now that she's all dry, let me take my little bottle of Tamiya clear gloss. You guys can, I've heard people saying that they use clear nail polish as well, which I think would work fine too. But this is what I use. I get this stuff on Amazon, and this is kind of like my finishing thing that I do after I'm all done with the eyes and the lips, because it puts a really high gloss on the eyes and the lips. And I'm also going to put it on her little pumpkin ring. Maybe I can make it look sparkly. Just going to put this clear gloss on the eyes here. Make sure you flip her around and get it both angles, top and bottom here. This stuff smells really bad, so make sure you use it in a really ventilated area. I think maybe next time I might use clear nail polish, but I really like this Tamiya, the high gloss acrylic. So I'm sure nail polish kind of gives you the same outlook and probably doesn't smell nearly as bad. I think I'm just going to leave her pretty, just plain black lips. I don't know if I want to put any glitter on her lips. She got lip injections. I can't believe how big her lips are. Oh my goodness. All right, and then I'm going to put just a little tiny bit on her little pumpkin ring right here. Oh, is that still wet? No. Ooh. She's got to have a little glossy pumpkin ring. And maybe a little on the earrings too. Make her earrings glossy. Okay. So I feel like that's probably a pretty good place to stop for now. I'm still going to work on thinking about what I want to do on her little dress on the cape, because I told you I was thinking about doing chevron on there, and that just didn't work out at all. But Renee was so cute, to let me try it. I was bound and determined to make it work, and I just couldn't and gave up after an hour. And I will post that I'm going to post that failing video for you guys so you can see not everything always works out. Not everything works out the way you intended to, and you kind of have to pivot. So that I feel like we do that a lot on this channel. All right, you guys. Well, I hope you're happy with her outcome so far. I'm going to do some fun stuff. I think I'm going to paint maybe some orange and white stripes like on this part of her. I just don't know. I'm still thinking about it. So if you guys want a chance to win this set, once it's all complete, the raffle is up on my website. They're $5 a ticket. And this will, by the time this is all done, this set will be worth probably $350. So if you guys want a chance to win it, the complete set, the link is on in the comments, and it's on my website, hopeanddimples.com, under the shop section. Tickets are $5. And I'm pretty obsessed with the purple eyes. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And I really appreciate you being here and hang out with me on your Saturday afternoon. I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I will see you guys in the next video. Maybe tomorrow we can come back and work on some details for her little... I just need to think a little bit more about what I want to do. I know that I'm definitely going to outline these white bats. These bats with white. I tried doing it with orange, you can see on the back right here, and that just didn't give me the contrast that I was looking for. So I'm going to go around them with white like we did on the cat and dog gnomes when we did those a few weeks ago. So I might do those without you guys. I'll save one so I can show you how to do it in case you missed it in the last demo. But I'm going to think on a little bit more on her outfit. If you guys have any ideas about what you think would look cute, either on her cape, because the patches obviously will have something on the patches. But if you can think of anything cute that we can add on her little robe that I can just paint on, I think that would be super fun. So leave those suggestions in the comments for me, and hopefully I may see you guys tomorrow. If not, we'll be back on Monday with another video. So enjoy the rest of your weekend and have a great day. Bye.